all know each other. So what's my name?
Denise Brien.
And where am I from?
Los Angeles.
And where's Los Angeles?
USA.
America. Okay, that's good. All right. So how many of you have a Facebook account? Awesome. So you can go to Facebook right now and you can look up Denise O'Brien. The problem is that my Facebook page is full. How many of you have this problem with too many friends? Okay, so what did you do to solve your problem?
I complicated my life. I opened a second account.
Me too! High five! That's the answer! Wait, you get another $1.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, because that is exactly what you're supposed to do. You are a student that should be a teacher. So, if you have too many friends, you open up another account. So mine is Denise O'Brien 2. You know, like Roman numeral 2. Okay, so how simple is that? Now, that's exactly what you do, and then you start another 5,000. All right? And then how many of you have a business or a company? How many of you want to have your own business and be an entrepreneur and have a company? Okay, so then you have to have another page for your company, right? And we're going to talk about the difference and what I believe is the best way to do that. So first of all, I have this really funny thing I want to share on social media to explain it. So if you're using, we're going to use the example of a donut. Everyone knows what a donut is, right? A sweet treat that you eat. So if you're on Twitter, you're going to actually post that you're eating a donut, if you're going to tweet it, right? If it's on Facebook, you're going to say, I like donuts on Facebook. If you're using Instagram, you're going to say, or maybe show, here's a vintage photo of my donut. And it's going to be a vintage color, okay? Maybe it's black and white. If it's on YouTube, you're going to actually hear me eating my donut. It's going to be live, and you're going to be hearing and seeing action. If it's on LinkedIn, it's going to say, my skills include eating a donut. Now, if it's Pinterest, what do you think it's going to be?
It's going to show the photograph with the chocolate syrup coming out.
And it's going to have the recipe, right?
Yes.
Because of course Pinterest, you got to have the recipe.
Yes.
It's on Pinterest, right? And if it's Google, you're going to be a Google employee that's like, I like donuts. All right, so do you get the idea? Like each social media has its own kind of reason and brand. And what I thought I'd start with is 15 social media statistics that every business needs to know. So how many of you don't even use social media to the maximum benefit? You know you need to be better at it. Okay, good. So you are in the right class. Because when you leave here, and I have no idea how long I get to talk, because they start late, until they kick me off the stage, I'll be here. So, social media marketing has not always been fully understood by certain businesses. And so to use social media e-campaigns, online advertisements, it's another form of reaching a mass audience. And until the last 5 years, it's kind of been unexplored, especially by business women. A lot of times, the young kids, the millennials, we had one of those in our class earlier today. Where is she? They know. My 11-year-old daughter is one of my employees. She actually does my Instagram. She goes with me to my radio show interviews with my clients, and she sits in the audio booth and she tweets all the tweets and Instagrams live while my clients are being interviewed on the radio. And she started doing that when she was 7 years old. And she's only 11. So my other children are my employees as well, because why not have your children work with you? My passion is to work and do what I love and to make sure that it benefits my family. So that includes being with my family, and that includes financially benefiting my family as well, and including them. So it's really important. I think that social media marketing is easier now. How many of you feel like it's easier now than it was? Okay. So you know you need to have a social media marketing strategy. Maybe you don't really understand why, but the social media tools that we have, like traditional marketing, when I went to college, as I said earlier, I studied journalism, but I also have a double degree in business administration. I learned everything there was to know about marketing. None of that information would be really valuable to me today because it's so different. It served me at the time to get to the next level, to get my first job as a reporter at KNBC TV, and to get me as a copywriter at an ad agency and all the other careers I've had. But right now, the way that the marketing is changing every 6 months, it's changing in 6 months as fast as computers change, like the new computers and how it's updated, and we've got the latest, fastest, newest phones. I'm getting a new phone every 3 months because the new phones are so much better than the ones 3 months ago. Well, the marketing now is generational, so 10 years worth of information is coming, in 3 months. And you all know what I'm talking about. So if you don't keep up with it and have the latest, you're basically going to be behind. So the main goal for social media and why you need it is to increase your communication. It's kind of obvious. But I also believe that it really helps with customer service. How many of you, when you're out now, are taking a picture of your food, or you're taking a picture of, how many of you have done that? My father, even 81 years old, he uses his cell phone. He's a contractor. He's not healthy, but he's at home. My brothers, who own a construction company, will find a problem with a pipe or something under the sink or whatever they're doing, and if they don't know what to do with it, they'll take a photo of it and text it to my dad, who's at home in his chair, and then my dad will say, oh, you need to do this and get such and such U-shaped O-ring, whatever, and then they'll go to Home Depot and get it, and they don't even have to, you know what I'm saying? That's how fast it is. So it really, really makes a difference with people that are actually serving, and because of this two-way dialogue, businesses can use the social media marketing to be much more alert with their audiences and give them a lot more, not only speed, but to give them really a broader turf to work with. So basically, it's the whole world, right? Here we are here in India, and there's no limitations to our social media. So now everybody all over the world is going to know a little bit more about, how many of you had never heard of Goa before you got invited to come here? Am I the only one? You too? Good. Everybody else had heard of Goa before.
Yeah.
I had never even heard of Goa. Okay, so now everyone in my life knows where Goa is. I've been counting down to Goa for 4 months since I decided to come. So everybody knows. If you go to my Facebook page, there's the 30-day countdown. There's the arrival. There's every photo. Okay, so I built a lot of relationships. The guy sitting next to me on the plane was from Italy. The lady sitting next to me on the other plane was from India. They're already all my friends on Facebook. All I did was say hello, introduce myself, have a conversation, ask them about themselves, give them my business card. I didn't even give them a dollar bill. I should have done that. And by the time I landed in Goa, I already had their friend requests in my inbox. Because if you attract people into your life, they're going to want to know a little bit more about you, and that's social media. Being social. My kids don't like it when they go to church with me at the end of church because it takes me about 30 minutes to get to the car. Because I'm standing at the church, afterwards I have my fellowship and conversation, and then another friend, and then another client, and then another friend, and all the way to the car. And they're just, Mom, give me the keys, I'll wait for you in the car. Because when you're a social person, that's just what you do. So I love my job. So how many of you know how many users have a business page on Facebook? A business page. Guess how many? Just give me a number. Throw one out.
3 million.
3 million. Does anyone else want to guess? 40 million. There are 40 million, this is a new statistic from Facebook, have an active small business page. That's 40 million businesses that are promoting themselves on Facebook. And Facebook is actually rolling out the red carpet right now. They're giving so many classes and opportunities. They're very careful with the advertising, and I'm not here to talk about, I'm not trying to promote, well, I am trying to promote Facebook, I guess. But they do all their advertising and all those side things, and I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how you can be your own best publicist. And let me say this right now. If you work with me, or you're my client, or you're here in Goa because of me, will you stand up really quickly? Okay, if it wasn't for Facebook, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 6 people that were just standing up would not be here. Thank you for standing up. These happen to be my clients, my friends, but the point is that I got invited to be here because I was a brand on Facebook. And Vinay Rai sent me an invitation to suggest that I work with the young women at his university, and then he read my bio, and then he invited me to come. And then when I found out what it was, I said, oh, I have some other people to invite, and then he invited me, and then, you know, it went from there. So it's because of social media that all of the people that are here with me and myself included. So Facebook is sending a message now to help small businesses with Facebook marketing, both organically and actually supporting small businesses. So how many of you have a small business or a fan page on Facebook? A fan page. Okay, so that's awesome. So not as many that have a personal page. So the personal page is a must. Everybody has their personal page, and two of us have two of them. And some of you will have more than 5,000 friends, and you'll need another one. Now, the fan page for your business is good to have, but I'm here to tell you that it's not, for me, as successful as the personal page, which is why if I have another 5,000, I have like 30,000 people following me just on Facebook. And once each of mine maxes out and I get another one, I would rather have a personal page than to have all the fan pages in the world, because I love photos and I love posting photos and I love sharing. I can do 30 or 40 photos in one post. I can share an album, and there's many advantages of having a personal page. Whereas on the fan page, you can just one photo, and then another photo. And who wants to say the most important reason why fan pages don't work as well as personal pages? Does anybody want to take a guess? This is the number one most important.
There's no conversation.
Interactive.
Exactly.
Interactive.
Yes. There's no interaction on the fan page. So I have mine, Denise Brien, publicist and author, but I don't really use it, and I don't even know if any of my friends know it's there. I mean, I send out the request, go find the page, so great, they find my page and they're my fan, and I have thousands of them. But really, the interaction between my clients and my friends and everybody I'm with on my personal page, and by the way, if you're too busy and you don't have enough time for that, you can hire that. I have clients in the room, I do that for them. I do their personal page for them as well. So it's important that you understand that the two-way communication is way more valuable to me than just being some superstar and just having a bunch of fans. So I like that two-way communication. So go ahead and make sure that you're focusing on the personal page. Have your fan page so when somebody Googles you, they can see your name and maybe what your brand is and who your company is. I also have multiple companies. So each company that I own has its own fan page. All right? That's like the business page. But all of my brands are under my name. Because who is my brand? I'm my brand, right? So I have Warrior Goddesses, I have California Safari, I have Wings of Love International, I have all these other companies that I own, but I'm the brand. And I'm either the founder or the CEO of those other companies or the co-founder, but I'm the most important person, so that's why my brand is my name. So this is not really a branding class, but I just wanted to mention that as well. So how many of you know that Facebook is the #1 most visited website in the world? Good. All right. And Facebook shares have the greatest influence on Google search rankings. So for those of you that do want to make more money, who wants to make more money?
Yeah.
Yes, because you're going to do something special with it, right? Then you need to understand Google rankings. Now, if you don't understand it, make sure you hire someone that does. All right? Because you want to have when you put your name in, you want your name to come up first. You want to have your rankings be the highest. And the more you post on any social media, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, anything that you're working on, your rankings are higher. And there's something called search engine optimization. Is there anyone that doesn't know search engine optimization? Everybody knows. Who knows what search engine optimization is? Okay, so search engine optimization is where the robots and everything are looking for you and crawling, and there's a lot of games that you can play with that, and I don't even understand it all. I have a team, I hire them to do that for my clients because the rules are always changing on how the robots are working and how the rankings are going up. But the most important thing is that Facebook shares have the highest ranking on Google in the United States, including the backlinks. All right, and what about Twitter? How many of you use Twitter? Just a few of you. Okay, so Twitter, you can automate your Twitter. For a lot of you, it looks like you're not using Twitter. You can go to your Facebook page, your personal Facebook page, and if you don't know how to do it, find a 16-year-old kid or a 17-year-old child, and you want to link your Facebook page to Twitter. Okay? I don't tweet. I don't have time to tweet. But I post everything on Facebook in all my different accounts. And by the way, I have another account called Dome Entertain, which stands for Denise Brien Movies Entertainment, like a dome on the top of a church, if you want to find me on Facebook on that. That's my business personal page, Dome Entertain. And so when I post things on Dome Entertain, they're my business related posts. They get tweeted to @Dome Entertain, which is my Twitter account. If I post something on my personal page about my kids or about me or whatever I want to post on my personal page, that gets tweeted out to my personal one, which is Dancing Eagle DOB. So that's just a little side note. How many people do you think are active users on YouTube? How many?
Billion. It must be more than the 40 billion that is spoken of.
There are 800 million active users on YouTube that actually spend an average of 15 minutes a day. There's millions and millions on them that don't ever use their YouTube account. But that actually use over 15 minutes a day, there's 800 million active users. Why? Because everybody loves to watch videos. When I was on the plane on the way over, there was a young Indian woman who was so excited to meet me and chat with me and have all this conversation. I told her what I was training on, and she told me that she is Indian, but she's working in the US for 8 months at a company there, and she loves to go. She doesn't have time to watch TV, so she has these certain Irish kids. I can't think of the name of them, but she told me all about them. I can't wait to go. That's her TV show that she watches it on YouTube. And she's also starting a cosmetic company, and she's doing all her research about how to start her cosmetic company on YouTube by watching all the other young girls that are posting how to wear hair and makeup and all of that. I thought it was fascinating that that's how she's learning how to start her own business, is just on YouTube. So how many of you watch YouTube at least 15 minutes a day? Anybody? 2 of you. Well, that's good. Okay. How many images do you think are uploaded every day on Instagram? Okay, who has an Instagram account? Instagram. Okay, Instagram is so fun because it's just one photo. So promise me that you'll go get an Instagram account. And by the way, how many of you have kids?
Yes.
All right, hire your child. I don't do my posts.
She's continuously on Instagram.
She's continuously. So hire your kids to do your Instagram. It's easy. There are 5 million images a day. 5 million images a day, every day, posted on Instagram. Every once in a while, when I have a moment to myself, I sit down and I turn on my TV, which I never watch, and my daughter and I will have a meal, and we'll watch, she calls it my favorite show, which is funny because I never watch TV, but it's Entertainment Tonight, or Entertainment Weekly, or one of those kind of shows. And so we'll sit down for half an hour and we'll eat and we'll watch this show, which is all the movie stars in Hollywood. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
What's it called? Entertainment Weekly or Entertainment Tonight? Something. There's 2 of them.
Yeah.
Entertainment Tonight.
Entertainment Tonight. Every single thing on there, I looked at my daughter and I said, what would they do without Instagram? Their entire show is, all they're doing is showing public images of all these movie stars that have posted a picture of themselves in a bikini, golfing, out with their kids, doing an Easter egg hunt, doing whatever. That's what Entertainment Tonight is about. In Hollywood, California, everybody's personal Instagram, because it's public. They don't have to go jump over a fence and through the woods and hide into Jennifer Aniston's backyard to get a photo because she's posting them herself. Do you see what I'm talking about? So that's the media. So we have to realize that if everybody's so interested in what everyone else is doing like that, using Instagram, get yourself an Instagram account, and of course only post things that you want the whole world to see, which is social media anyway, right? All right, this is another interesting statistic. How many times a day do you think people check their Facebook account?
About 200?
200.
I know.
Okay, well, over half, so 56% of all Facebook users check their account at least once a day. 56%, over half. So there's some Facebook people that don't actually check their account. And I'm telling you, if I run across a friend on Facebook that made a post like in September 2013 or December 2014 and it's May 2015, I delete them so I can make room for another friend. Because if they haven't made a post for like 2 years, on my page, I mean on their own page, then I'm not interested. I want to be with people that are moving and shaking like I am. So that's how I have to decide when I delete a friend on my 5,000 so I can add somebody. Sometimes I do that. Okay, how often does a tweet go out? How many people know how often a tweet goes out? 120,000 tweets every second. 120,000 tweets go out every second. And again, how are we going to do it? Because we're so smart. We're going to attach it to our Facebook page, and then all our tweets are automatic, right? Everything you post will go out. So that makes a difference. All right, let's talk about LinkedIn, because LinkedIn to me is the most professional, and that's where you're going to find the people with the most money, the most business executives, and the people the kind of people I like to work with. So LinkedIn, the average user spends 21 minutes on LinkedIn. So that's higher than all the statistics I just told you. So LinkedIn is a completely different thing. As we said earlier, on LinkedIn you're going to talk about how it's a skill to eat a donut, right? Whereas on Facebook you're just going to eat the donut or take a picture. So for me, the way I look at it is all of my clients, my friends that are billionaires and millionaires, they don't use social media. They're like under the radar and they're kind of hidden. They don't use it. My business executive clients that are like CEOs and they own companies and they're professional and they have a corporate job, if that's what you want to call it, they're on LinkedIn. That's where they live and that's where they work. And then my clients that are entrepreneurs and working, different hours, but not necessarily a business executive that has a 9-to-5 kind of job, they're the ones that are on Facebook. So that's the different audience. So you have to look at which audience do you want to project to, who do you want to hang out with, who do you want to work with. I like to work with everybody, but I also like to work with people that have money. How many of you like to work with people that have money? Okay, so if you don't, how many of you do have a LinkedIn profile? Okay, so most of you do. You can find my LinkedIn profile, which is just my name. And let's mention that too. How many of you, I don't want to say how many, don't have a bunch of cute, weird names for all your stuff. Okay, a long time ago I did my Dancing Eagle DOB, like years ago, because one of my brands is about eagles. And so that's always remained my Skype. But other than that, my name is my name, and that's my brand across the board. It's not so hard to find me. So if you have all these cute little names, or even like all these different names of your companies, and that's your brand, and they're different on each thing, that's a problem. It should be the same across the board. So make sure you fix that if you haven't. Okay? All right, so we talked a lot about, let's talk about videos for a minute. How many of you actually post videos? And how do you do it?
YouTube.
On YouTube? And what about you? Facebook?
YouTube.
And YouTube. Okay. And where do you get your content from?
I make it myself.
From like your cell phone or
Yes, cell phone, iPad.
Cell phone, iPad? What about you?
Yeah, gadgets.
On your gadget? Okay.
Events.
And going to events and then just videotaping at your events? Exactly. Anybody else want to share? Yes?
I do my TV shows. I put them on.
So you put your whole TV show. Okay. So she has an entire TV show. So you're using social media. You're like really using it.
I do. Someone does it for me.
So see, she hired somebody to do it for her. So how long is your show?
About half an hour.
It's a half hour. And how many days a week?
I do it. It's once a week. So I got a whole backlog of about 4 years.
That's wonderful. So she has a TV show and she's using social media to post the entire thing. Brilliant. Because who even needs to have a TV anymore when you have social media, right? You can just post it all there and people can follow it through their computer. Well, I think it's really amazing that we have so many choices, and some people are, when they're looking at how they're going to invest their time, they ask the question, should I be investing in my time or my money or my advertising dollars with my PR person or my PR team in LinkedIn or in Facebook? How many of you would say LinkedIn? How many of you say Facebook? Okay, so most everybody, just for the record, almost everybody said Facebook. So the difference, like I said earlier, LinkedIn has a really highly accurate professional profile. What statistics show is that LinkedIn profiles are more accurate and they're more up to date. And like I said earlier with some of my Facebook friends when I delete them, Facebook profiles are much more out to date. People use it more as a personal tool, and it's not as up to date and professional. So most of you voted on Facebook, but actually LinkedIn is the better place because you're networking with people that are really actively, and like I said, business executives. So what's the solution? You can do both. And what I do is I spend most of my time on Facebook, but I still post. I'm in the top 1% of LinkedIn. So they have all these rankings, and you can look at yourself and see how great you are, and they can tell you how not great you are and how your profile is not quite up to par, or it can say you're the best of whatever. And I'm in the top 1%, which I'm proud of because there's a lot of people on LinkedIn, but I rarely use LinkedIn compared to how I'm always on Facebook. But my LinkedIn profile is sharp, it's there, it's done, and everybody can find me there. But again, I don't feel the interaction from LinkedIn like I do on Facebook. So do you understand how you still post on it and be professional and kind of go back and forth? It's interesting how many choices we have, and the most important thing I believe is that you find what's comfortable for you. Okay? So one of the questions I always get is how should your post be? Let's say on Facebook, we're going to talk about Facebook. What are you posting? And some of you might have heard the rule that the content should be about 20%, and then kind of your products or what you're selling would be 80%. Have any of you heard that, the 80-20 rule about that? So
The other way around.
it's really up to you. I find that the more personal things I post, I get the most activity of a picture of my dog than I do of a picture of anything else. Actually, it's a statistic, and mine fits right in. How many of you knew that the number one thing that people look at on any social media are pets, animals. Animals are number one by far, the best thing to post. You're always going to get people. So if you have your own dog, oh, by the way, my dog has his own Facebook page. So his name is Captain Toffee, and my daughter, because her dad, and by the way, I'm a single mom, her dad would not let her have any sort of social media. So I said, well, you can just set one up for Toffee. So she set up a Facebook page for my dog, our dog, and so she posts pictures of our dog on her Facebook page. So you might find Denise Brien, and then you'll see a picture of a dog. That's really my daughter. Okay. So, but I should probably use her page more often and get more activity because it's true. So as far as content, when you're trying to sell yourself or sell your brand or sell your business, obviously you want to mix it in with the personal because everybody wants to know who you are. People know me as soon as I walk in the room, and I do another whole class on image and brand and charisma and all of that. But the most important thing is that you're real, and your Facebook picture looks like who you really are. Do you know that when I got here, Dr. Harbeen, she came up to me and she gave me a hug. She said, oh, she goes, you look just like your picture, but now I can get your lioness energy. That's what she said when she met me, because she couldn't get the lioness energy from the picture, but I was complimented that she thought I looked. How many of you, are any of you single in the room? Okay, come on. And you see a picture of a guy on social media, and then you meet them, and they don't look anything like their picture. I mean, we're talking like 50 pounds heavier, they're bald now, they used to have hair in the picture, and then now they don't. It's true. I'm seriously, people actually think that they're going to get away with this. So we cannot let this happen. So if your Facebook picture doesn't look like you, oh, a guy left the room. Oh my gosh, I offended the only man in my audience. I'm so embarrassed. Okay, all right. So yes, make sure you share real, authentic posts. People want to get to know who you are. I have never really done any advertising for my business. My brothers, who own a construction company in Northern California, have never advertised. Because of who they are. If you're a good person and you're filled with integrity and you have a heart and a spirit, everybody's attracted to that. So if there's a way that you can figure out how to get that out, because this class is called How to Be Your Own Best Publicist. So I'm trying to give you tips on what I do to be your own publicist, and you don't have to pay me $20,000 a month. You can actually do it yourself. right? I'm giving you all my secrets as much as I can. So
Just
do
give
it.
you the proof of what is it that I have implicated? You're already on Facebook.
I'm already on Facebook. Yay! Thank you. Thank you. And we'll tag you. And see, this is a secret too. You tag yourself on my Facebook page, and you tag me in all my pages, and it goes out to like 40,000 people, and then you're famous on my Facebook page.
All right.
If any of you have been following my American tour here, all of my clients, I tag them all. And so we all get to share the benefit of each other's audience, which raises the level of everybody's audience. So, how many of you know what success looks like on Facebook? For example, when people like your little likes and all that kind of stuff. What would be someone's definition of success when you put a post on Facebook?
It's reposted by somebody.
When somebody reposts it.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Shares it and
500 likes and 2 shares.
Lots of likes, lots of comments,
Shares, lots of shares.
lots of shares.
Yeah.
lots of likes and lots of comments. People
Right.
are congratulating you.
Exactly. So lots of likes, lots of comments, and the biggest, what do they call it? Imitation is best form of flattery, or whatever that phrase is when somebody shares your post. When I see a post that's been shared like 65 or 75 times, then I'm excited because that means all the audiences out there are liking that. So you also want to, this is something that I teach my clients, like your own posts. Remember that toot your own horn thing I was talking about earlier? It's okay that you like your own post. It's okay. Yes, it's okay to love yourself. Everybody just put your hand out in front of you like this and pretend there's a mirror right there. Everybody, put your hand out and say, I am beautiful.
I am beautiful.
Okay, now turn it the other way. Okay, and then now say, I love myself.
I love myself.
Okay, and now turn it a different way. And now say, everybody loves me.
Everybody loves me.
Okay, see? So this is what you're doing. First you have to love yourself,
Yes.
and then you have to let everybody know how great you are, and then everybody will love you. But if you don't love yourself first, and you don't let them know who you are by taking all the walls down and being who you really are, then they're never going to know the true, authentic you, and they can't fall in love with you. Just like in a real love relationship, someone can't fall in love with you if they don't know who you are. So I have to admit that I've had some challenges with my personal family, meaning my siblings. My father's dying of Alzheimer's, and it's been a very difficult challenge for our family. And I'm always posting pictures of my dad and I on Facebook, and all my family. But my siblings, they're not allowed to say anything about me and my kids and what I post. But when I'm posting pictures of my dad, they're like, are we going to have to listen to every detail of Dad's last dying thing on Facebook? This is what my siblings said about 3 months ago. So I respect their wishes, and therefore I don't post anything about his health. But I do ask for prayers, because I think that's okay to ask for prayers. So I put pictures of my dad and I. My dad almost died a few weeks ago when he was on a vacation, and I couldn't say what the circumstances were, how dire it was, but I can share with you that when I posted on Facebook that my mother, his wife, is asking for prayers. My mother never says, the way she said it, pray really hard. So I wrote, the post said, my mom says pray really hard. And so my friends that know me, they knew what was going on. The other 50 or 30,000 people that were following, they probably didn't know how serious it was, but it was very close. And my dad almost didn't make it, but he did. So my dad has his own fans. When he comes to a party in Hollywood, everywhere he goes with me, everybody comes up to him and they're like, you're Grandpa Obi, you're Grandpa Obi. And he's like, yeah. And they're like, I've seen you on Facebook. So, you know what? It's okay